Hey guys, welcome to my channel, VeniLegiAmavi, which means I came, I read, I loved. My name is Kelsey, and today I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the popular book series and books that I've never read. Um, so this is a little bit shameful just because I've read for so long and I've been so into reading, and a lot of people would never guess that I've never read these books. But here we go. With no further ado, um, I've never read The Hunger Games. I know. I think I read a couple pages of the very first book, but I tried and it was so popular and everyone loved it so much. And I mean, the movies seemed like they were good. Um, okay, I've only seen the first two, but I read the first one and it was good. Or I watched the first one and it was good, so I thought that I would try to read them, but I just couldn't get into it. I think it was the present tense. I just couldn't. It was so weird. It was hard for me to wrap my mind around when I was reading the present tense, and I just really struggled with that. I had never read a book that was present tense like that before, uh, really. So I just really didn't like. Yeah, I just really didn't like the present tense. And most of the people in my everyday life, when I would explain that that's why I struggled to get into it, they didn't even notice it was present tense. So I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I think it was all in my head and I'd have to Google it and make sure that it was present tense, right? Like it wasn't just me who felt that way. I don't know. Anyway, so The Hunger Games. Maybe at some point I'll read it, but I kind of doubt it just because I struggled so much getting into that tense, and I assume that the entire series is written that way. So sorry, I'm genuinely sorry. I wanted to read it and enjoy it and love it, like everyone else did, but I just couldn't. Um, Another book series that I haven't read that I remember being quite popular would be the Shadowhunter series, like City of whatever and Clockwork Things. I don't know. I don't know. I just know a whole bunch of them are called like A City of Whatever, and then there's another series with Clockwork Things or something. I don't know. Um, I know that there's a TV series out and like a movie came out, and I watched the movie and I watched a little bit of the TV series. Um, and it seems like something that would be right up my alley, but I've never picked up the books. I don't think I had any friends who were super into them, and that's probably why, because no one encouraged me to read them. But yeah, I don't know. Book series I haven't read, I guess. Um, Another thing that I haven't read. So I read The Fault in Our Stars, but every other John Green book that I've picked up, I've read the back of, and I want to like it. Like it seems like I should like it because I really did enjoy The Fault in Our Stars. I sobbed horribly. The Christmas tree line gets me every single time. I love Christmas. I love Christmas. So anyway, okay. Okay. So anyway, so John Green books, I go to the bookstore and I pick them up and read the back, and I really, really want to like them and want to be into them. But when I read the back, they just don't interest me. I think I just struggle with contemporaries. Every once in a while I'll read a good contemporary, but contemporaries aren't really my thing. I really enjoy fantasy and action and sci-fi and those kind of books. And there's something about the contemporary books that just don't get me as easily. By all means, please suggest some good contemporary books to me because I would love to get into more of them. I just haven't, I guess. I don't know. So another book series that I haven't read would be the Raven Boys books. Everyone seems to really love them, so I think I should probably get them. I just haven't really seen them. I've never bumped into them in the library. Never saw them, so I never picked them up. But I don't know, they seem to have a pretty good reputation on booktube, so I should probably do that just to get them. They seem like my kind of thing. Another series that I've never picked up and read is the Lunar Chronicles, which I love fairy tales. I love fairy tales so much. So I expect that when I do pick them up, I'll love them. When I first read the back, I wasn't sure if it seemed, I don't know. I don't know. I read the back and I was just kind of conflicted. I was torn. Um, but I'll probably get them because everyone seems to love them. So yeah, I'll probably buy them. Especially now that there's a Rapunzel one. I've always really loved Rapunzel. Even before the movie came out from Disney, when I grew up, my hair was always like down to my waist until I was maybe in like grade 11 or 12. So people compared me to Rapunzel all the time. And so Rapunzel just like became one of those things that I don't know. Related to seems like a strong term, but like I kind of identified with because I also had weirdly long hair forever. So yeah, I don't know. I just always liked Rapunzel. Another book series I've never read is the Shatter Me books. I actually know like nothing about them. I just hear them mentioned a lot on booktube. I don't know if they're controversial or good or bad or what, but I don't know what they're about and I've never read them and I don't, yeah. So we're getting close to the end of the list here, but one book series that I never read that honestly I would love, I'm sure I would love them because I've always loved mythology, is the Percy Jackson series. I think I didn't read them because I was a little bit older when they came out, maybe, or when they got popular at least, and so I just didn't pick them up because they were, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't pick them up. I should have. I love mythology, and I went through a huge phase where I bought nothing but mythology books, like Greek mythology specifically. But for some reason, I never picked up those books. I think it's because I lived somewhere without a bookstore, so my book buying was really limited to like kind of like a every couple months I would get to go and buy books because I grew up in a place that was so small. So I probably just like was so focused on buying the books that I had heard were good beforehand. I don't know. I don't know. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. I should have bought them the minute that I heard about them. And I probably will read them at some point, especially because Declan has mentioned that he really likes them and thinks that I should read them. So we'll probably buy them and read them at some point. Similarly, another book series that I'm sure that I will be shamed into reading before long is the Aragon series. I don't know why I didn't read those books. I've always loved dragons. I've always loved reading. They were popular. All my friends read them and loved them. I just didn't read them. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't. Um, and the final book series that I shamefully have not read is the Harry Potter series. I know. I've read about halfway through the first book. My boyfriend Declan and I are reading them together, which is great because he's English, so he's got this beautiful accent and it sounds very, very soothing and like legitimate when he reads them to me. We take turns reading chapters to each other, but I always hope that I get the short chapters because I love to hear him read. So I actually asked for these for Christmas this year and got them, so that's why they're on my bookshelf and I haven't read them yet. We're probably like halfway through the first one. I don't know. When I was young, I saw like the second movie, I think it is, with the giant spiders, and I was always a scared, skittish child. Even now, I'm like super flinchy and can get freaked out really easily. But I just was so freaked out by that they scared me, and so I decided that I wouldn't watch them. And I was kind of a little bit hyperactive, so I didn't watch many movies when I was young anyways. So I watched the movies when I was like 15 or 16, I think. And after that, I was like, okay, these are awesome. Like, these are so great. And I knew then that I wanted to read the books, and I just didn't have them. I'm sure my friends would have lent them to me, but I guess they just didn't offer, or maybe I was already reading something else at the time. I don't know. I'm usually a very much like read one book at a time kind of person, but lately I've been reading more than one at a time, especially because Declan and I have been reading together. So I also want books to read on my own time, then I want to read books with him, but then sometimes we want to read books together and we don't feel like reading a certain type of book, so we want to read a different type of book, and there's so many books that we want to read together. Anyway, so those are my shameful list of books that I have never read. Some of them I'm sure I will read. By all means, leave a comment below and tell me which ones that you are most distressed by. I know that Harry Potter is going to be high on the list, and I promise we're reading them. I promise. And I'm really excited to read them. The books are really good. I'm really enjoying them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is shameful. Anyway, so that was the pretty big list of popular books and popular book series that I haven't read. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye!